Because I think lots of people, when they're honest, would say just giving money to charity doesn't actually give me much satisfaction on the personal level. I may still do it because I think it's the right thing to do, but in terms of getting a bit of that fulfillment, that's not the source of that for me. And I know you're involved in a charity giving wheelchairs to impoverished children. So tell me more about it. What's in it for you?
What's in it for me? Absolutely nothing. No, it's called it's a great charity called Momentum Wheels for Humanity. It's based in Los Angeles. I've been the chairman of the board for 8 years. For a long time, I've been involved in the company, and it's a terrific charity. When I first got introduced to the charity from a good friend of mine, he had said, "Oh, I think you'd like come to a meeting. I think you'd like this." At the time, frankly, most of our churches don't have time for charities. Like, I am the charity. Like, I'm a charity case. I have no money. I'm broke. I have no money to give away. Like, well, think about it in the future. And so he got me involved in this charity quite a long time ago. And then I subsequently became the chairman of the board of the charity. And what I liked about it, as soon as I saw it was global, it was immediately impactful, and it was for children. And the fact that you can basically deliver these wheelchairs around the world to third world countries and make an amazing impact on the lives of not only these kids, but their family and everyone else around them in the community. And some of the early videos I saw, we've toned them down since. But some of the early videos were like really hard to watch because you're just like seeing how some of these children are living, like unable to move. And you saw the impact of what this had on these kids having an actual wheelchair and being able to move and go to school and being an active participant in the society that they live in. You're like, wow, this is an amazing charity, because more often, like, and there's some great charities out there like UNICEF and things like that that do amazing things around the world, but like you're so removed from the impact, and there's so much administrative and cost, frankly, of every dollar comes in just to administer whatever service they're providing. And what I thought was unique about this is, I think at the time it's gotten better. I think it was like 90 cents in the dollar was like reaching and delivering an actual product to these people most in need. So I thought that was really impactful, and I thought the group and the way they were organized and the way they're focused globally. So it touched a bunch of key points for me, like the global impact. I loved to travel all over the world growing up. I actually seen a lot of poverty in the world growing up, and particularly with children in poverty. And then just, I'm fortunate enough not to have any children who are disabled. But seeing these kids who are like really unable to live a normal life get really have their life completely changed just by a wheelchair was a pretty incredible, impactful situation for me. And I mean, now, as you asked before about where you get fulfillment, I mean, my wife and I are both fortunate enough now to actually be in a position to donate more money to the charity. And I raised a ton of money for the charity over the last 3 or 4 years. So to see that impact, and they brought new leaders in the charity. It's now tripled in size in the last really 3 or 4 years. I'm not taking credit for that. I mean, that's really the leadership of the charity that's really done that. But I think that's been great to see. And those types of charities are kind of what really get me interested.
So your involvement is mostly in fundraising. Somebody else is running it.
Yes, correct. So I'm the classic chair board person who tells all the board people, we all need to raise money, we all need to put money in. Yeah. And so
it's important, otherwise it can't function, right? Yeah. Somebody has to pay for the wheelchairs.
Exactly. And it's got to be, you need a board that's actively involved. There's lots of charities where people are on the board just purely because it's like prestigious.
Yeah, vanity.
Yes, vanity, exactly. And this is a smaller charity that is kind of less known than it should be. And so it's definitely not vanity. And it's something that I just felt passionate about, because both my wife and I are both on the board. And so we've been involved.
So you do it together.
Yeah, we do it together. We've done it for quite some time. And really our core contribution really is raising money for the charity. Because at the end of the day, between grants and everything else, that's the other big piece, is just financial donations from sponsors. I bring in a lot of corporate sponsors, things like that.
So you basically spend also your energy and your time, not just your money, on the charity.
Yeah, I do. I spend a lot of time in the actual fundraising process. It's not just me writing a check, it's me convincing 20 or 30 other people to write checks. And so it's gotten to the point now where it's, it starts building momentum on itself. And, hopefully, once I'm off the board in the future, like this can just kind of have the momentum just to become a larger and larger charity.
And how do you see your charitable activities in the future? Would you like to spend more on this one, or would you like to diversify? Again, for example, you sell through Connect tomorrow, and you have more time to think about it.
Right.
And
I think
more liquidity, I assume.
No, I definitely think I would be more involved in different charities. I also have other things that I enjoy, and there's certainly some vanity investments out there I'd love to make, but I think the charity side, I would definitely look to do other things because I've been doing this for a while, and I think my wife and I would love to find other things that we could do on the charitable side that are a little bit different.